Alright, hello and welcome to my Fiesta challenge run. Fantastic. So, let's just go over the rules real quick, right? We got 5 characters. See this? All 5 of them. Unfortunately, I don't have friends, so I'll be playing each and every one of them. Now, we start getting into a challenge here. Unfortunately, that is not the challenge, the part where I have to play all of them. No. In fact, I'm hoping I can find a way to make that more trivial than not. The real challenge begins here. Let's start with the rules. First of all, we will be playing Hardcore. That means, if any one of these 5 characters here dies, they are dead, including our main character here, which will be the mage to start. If any of them die, we delete the character, we continue on with the party. Say, you know, a satyr in disguise dies, we delete the character, we continue as 4. Certainly, at some point, it might be just totally undoable, and at that point, we'll probably call it a wipe. If you're not sure exactly how these sort of hardcore game modes work, it's maybe consider it somewhat like a Nuzlocke or, you know, like perhaps the hardcore challenge in World of Warcraft. Furthermore, we will be playing entirely solo self-found. All of our items are going to have to be entirely obtained by us. We're going to have to craft everything through the alchemy skill tree. We're going to have to go through just about everything here to make things work. Scrolls are incredibly important in this game, and getting even just the materials alone, let alone getting the recipes to actually make them, is not going to be an easy feat. So we're going to have to collect everything ourselves. Nothing we can buy from other people. We can buy things from NPCs. I think that seems reasonable, but I'm honestly not sure how much useful stuff NPCs sell in this game beyond skills and HP and SP stones. But we'll find that out. Furthermore, on that solo self-bound sort of way, we will also not be using any power creep spark cash items or slime coin. I think mounts will probably be fine, we can grab this, but things like charms, you know, like things like outfits that give stats and are not permanent, I mean, this just doesn't make any sense. I think it's gonna be alright if we want to, like, you know, fashion up in any sort of way, put on like some permanent stuff that's got no stats, or, you know, even like, you know, like these sorts of pets you can get that are permanent and have, you know, incredibly unmeaningful stats. Would you look at that? It's made by Luna Goddess. Wow, I just saw them in game earlier today. Who would have known? That's fantastic. Either way, yeah, I think spark cash items for fashion is okay. Outside of that, not really. I'm on the border of using the staff or not. I got it. I feel like I gotta use it. It's a permanent item. It kind of fits within the rule set. We'll see exactly how I end up feeling about that. Moving on. Any sort of deaths or disconnections for the hardcore characters? Like my internet goes out or something, you know, it's gonna be a reset. It's gonna be all right. You know, we can't count that as a death. It doesn't seem right. Of course, in most games, they're not able to back you up on that just because, you know, so many people could have disconnected or intentionally disconnected. Here, if we disconnect, we're gonna keep playing. If we die, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna die. No cheating here. Alright, now we get into some more spicy stuff, and it's not just the solo self-found, it's not just the hardcore. Right, we're also looking at no Gamigo based quests. You'll see a lot of quests in this game have like an obscene amount of XP rewards. You might not see it right immediately, right? Like 7 XP. Obviously that's not insane. Like doing a quest like this is totally reasonable. But apparently there's like some quests that later on, like even in the level 80s, that you can do the one quest and level up like multiple times. There's some really egregious stuff, and we're going to be trying to stay away from quests in general for the most part. there might be some that are like, oh, okay, well that XP is clearly still really bad, and the reward could be useful for crafting. Like, let's do this quest. Like, I don't want to set a total hard rule, but there's gonna be some obvious quests that we're gonna be staying away from. I'm not looking to see any sort of, you know, get to level 1 to 100 in a single day or whatever, right? I mean, there's some incredibly crazy strategies and quests you can do in this that it's a bit ridiculous. All right. Again, we have this character here. This is Satyr in disguise. She is a archer, and that hopefully will not stay the case forever. At level 60, this account will unlock the ability to make a crusader, and I'm hoping that she can stay alive until then. I'm gonna just basically have her do effectively nothing, hopefully, and stay alive until then, because crusaders can give incredibly useful buffs. We'll get into that shortly as we talk about our team comp and what we've decided to do. But let's finish off with the rules. Any buff received, like anytime a cleric comes by or someone and that comes in, clicks on us and, you know, gives us a buff or whatever, right? We gotta click it off. We gotta thank him like, yo, thanks. Click it right off. Any buffs have to be given from our party members. So if we want a cleric buff, we have to get Edison to a position where he can give cleric buffs. We have to get Satyr in disguise to become a Satyr, right? And give us those buffs. Or stay as an archer forever and give us, you know, the aim buff or whatever it is archers give. I'm not really sure if that's in this game, to be completely honest. It might have been in another server, it's hard to say. Nonetheless, any buffs, like not even in-town buffs, these town guard buffs, there's some clerics in towns that'll give you a buff. We're not going to be using those. Those are incredibly powerful as well. And it's just incredible power creep that we're trying to ignore. Now, we have talked about some pretty hardcore stuff in that, you know, any deaths do mean it's over, but there is a saving grace. Kingdom quests. I mean, so deaths in the Kingdom quest are, I'm thinking that these are going to be alright. Now, I might change my mind on this. We still have a long ways to go until we can do our first one, but I'm thinking it seems about right to, like, keep going in and trying it. And it's hard to say. I'm thinking KQs might be our saving grace of a place that we can go in, we can try and die, figure out strats, sort of like a training ground. I think that just makes sense, and that would also allow for like the PvP one as well. I think it's fun. I think we can make it work, and if it seems like it should be a challenge in its own right, and it should be a true death, then we will make it that. Nonetheless, finally, we're looking at what the goals are. What do we want to do? Well, obviously we're not going to be clearing any endgame raids. We're not even going to be killing Karen. We're not going to be doing anything crazy. That's just not possible. You know, there's a world that we do this challenge on another server at some point, one that is totally dead, and maybe eventually try to do like a 5-man Hellgate or something absolutely ridiculous. But as of now, it's just not realistic. What we're actually going to be trying to do is try to kill all the elites, clear all the dungeons, and we're going to try to clear all the KQs. And if we can do that, well, shucks, that's quite a long time. I suspect we'll probably die. I really don't know. I'm guessing before level 60. We'll see. I'm sure we'll have a death. We have some melee characters, a trickster. Let's get into that. Alright, so we got the rules out of the way for the most part. Here we are, we're in Roman. Just about ready to start up on this. So again, I will be playing all 5 of these characters, and I guess we should start off with the main character. So the main character is going to be Sumorta. This is going to be our mage. Somehow, if we make it to level 100, it's going to be a wizard. The AoE clear is going to be invaluable. Some could argue that the warlock, things like sleep, metamorphosis, and things like this could be incredibly good for escaping and surviving. And that might absolutely be true, and it might be something to consider on the way there. But my main way of survival is going to be have a hotbar teleport scroll at all times as a kind of get out of jail free. I've not tested that yet, that works, but I don't know why it wouldn't. There's obviously some instances that that's not going to work in, but I'm hoping that if things ever go incredibly bad, like I'm not able to heal in time or things are going totally out of mana, you know, I'm fucked up somehow, I should be able to just, you know, hit a teleport button and get everyone out of there. It's gonna be the main plan on survival for that. Second of all, we got the cleric for survival. Hopefully he's gonna be able to provide us with buffs, party buffs, individual buffs. He's mostly gonna be exactly that, just a aura bot. There's gonna be times I'm hoping I can weave in some heals here and there, but of course playing multiple characters at once is not the easiest thing. But the cleric is nevertheless probably the second most important character. And absolutely does kind of need to stay alive, especially for the mage to be able to do anything solo. Next most important character is probably Atromix, being the tank. Oh, and Eliasin, if somehow making it to level 100, would of course be a holy knight. Atromix, on the other hand, would be a knight. Going for full tank here. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a mount on this character here, and I'll be able to mob a large area in Overworld, and, you know, just house immediately. Boom, you know, just house. And tank it while I, you know, nuke him down on the mage. So that's what Atromix is going to be doing. The next most important character is going to be Satyr in Disguise. If Satyr can live to be level 60 and then later live even longer, they might even become one of the most important characters overall. Buffs are truly fantastic. There's some abilities for immortality, especially with the cleric. Fantastic tanking abilities that might come in super clutch for some dungeons. Yeah, we'll see. We will see about that. And then the least important character is going to be Elvark. Elvark is going to be probably a specter. It's hard to say exactly what. If they somehow survive that long, they will be the most expendable character. So if anyone dies, I'm really hoping it's Elvark. Their main use is going to be late game crowd control. When we eventually are able to use, I say late game, but even just mid game, once we're able to use the ice trap, whatever it's called, that they get, where they can, you know, trap people in ice with the little dance move they do, the tricksters. It pairs incredibly well with the Nova. It's just insane CC and should really help keep people alive. Like, I can put the Nova down, run in with the trickster, ice him up, run out, you know, on the way, go back to the mage and nuke him down. It should be pretty good. So that's the plan, and we'll see exactly how it goes. This is the beginning. A Fiesta hardcore adventure. Here we go. Now, most important thing is getting the hang of things immediately. We can already see that things are not going to be super easy. I have to slowly set all of my characters here to follow the main one, as I am not incredibly versed at all. In fact, I've already just made things incredibly slow here, and I do apologize for that. I'm certainly not any great expert at this sort of thing, but here we are. Moving along anyhow. Great. We have all the characters set on follow, and we're going to be starting an adventure with some slimes. Like, this person's probably like, what's happening here? They're confused. That's alright. They probably think I'm a bot or something. It doesn't incredibly look like that. But we're actually just here to come and grab some health stones. It's fantastic. Like, these people, they're very interested. That's quite alright. So we actually don't have any money, as it turns out. So we are actually unable to buy anything. But we do have a shield on this character that we can put on. What else do we have? A shield on the fighter. And that appears to be about it. Alright. So we can move right on. Like, they left us alone. They were definitely confused, so it is a confusing side. I would think I was a bot. So the original idea was going to be to fill up on HP and SP stones and maybe buy some skills, but you know, we actually do have no money. So there you have it. Absolutely no money. So there's no reason to even really be in town. So we can look at these quests. We can, you know, think about doing, you know, some silly quests like this, but I really like to just start off with just see how bad it's gonna be on nothing but the grinding. Because the reality is, we need the drops anyways. We need an obscene amount of drops. We have to farm for recipes. I mean, it's not gonna be a simple feat. Now, before we even enter the forest, I'm gonna be taking a break right here, and I think it's time to start up on another. Look, she just instantly kills that thing. Yeah, I know it's gonna be exactly that easy. We're gonna be flying through these. But the idea here is we need to discover which of us we want to be. Here, let me heal these guys up. This is ridiculous, isn't it? We don't want them anywhere near death. Not sure why they spawn in like that exactly, but there you have it. Heal them right on up with their HP stones. We could have gone into a house, and that would have actually been significantly more efficient, especially on the money, and we just used quite a few stones, but we're gonna have to ignore that. What we want to think about is who's gonna be the most efficient person to be killing. I'm thinking that we want specific people ready at all times to do specific things. And right now, I think the most useful people is by far our ranged characters. So anyone in melee is in danger. I think it might be fine to just stay on the mage for now. We'll think about it and see exactly what's up.